Good evening. Today is August 13th. This is the Norfolk Conservation Commission, and people are excited to be here tonight. We are starting off the meeting first, a little bit informal before we get into it. We'd like to honor 4 children that did an outstanding job and had concern for turtles crossing the road. And we have special guests with us, Blair Crane, Director of DPW, and Hillary Cohen, the Animal Control Officer, to help us give recognition. So with that, Ella, which one's Ella? This one. You can okay, Ollie? Cody? And Abby? Yay! We welcome you and we thank you for the outstanding job you did. And you hopefully be a point of inspiration for the other children in the town to help the conservation and animal, take care of all the little critters in town. They wrote us a nice letter and said that they'd like to ask the Conservation Commission of the town of Norfolk to install turtle crossing signs in both directions to make sure motorists are aware of the turtles and amphibians crossing here. And we'd like to thank you for your time and consideration. And this is on Leland Road. And as we know, that's a big problem of us. In fact, the new culverts on Seekonk Street has a little culvert for little critters to go through it, so they don't have to cross the road. So with that, I'd first like to, let me start off with Hillary, our Animal Control Officer.
Blair, come with me.
Yeah, okay, Blair.
Where do you want
It's a duel, right up here.
Okay.
Come on, no, Blair, you gotta come up closer.
I'll come up here.
So for animal control, I think you guys are great ambassadors for the animals, which means you are looking out for them. And I think that that is an amazing accomplishment, especially with all 4 of you. And we appreciate when you come to the Conservation Commission or any department in town and ask for certain things that will benefit our wildlife population. For that, I have, in my spare time, I've made you guys some cookies to take home. And they are from the Ginger Snapped Cookie Company. Half of them are regular sugar cookies and the other half are blueberry lemon sugar cookies. So I hope you guys enjoy them. And they are personalized with your names on them as well.
Thank you so much.
This is for you guys.
Thank you.
Show's all yours.
All right, so thank you once again. I really appreciate you reaching out. You know, I will admit that people often ask for a variety of signs around town, and after reading your letter, I really felt that it was well deserved. And so, being that we don't normally put out turtle crossing signs, there are a couple here and there. I reached out to a company that makes turtle crossing signs, and I actually brought one tonight for you guys to see, and it's right here.
And a couple of your cookies are actually of the turtle sign.
And there it is.
Awesome. That is
There's some little turtles on it.
Oh, perfect. Look at that.
Nice.
Very good, Blair,
So we have
very
a couple
good.
of those, and in the next few days, we will put those up on Leland Road.
Perfect.
And so every time you drive by them,
Yes.
you can see them and know that the turtles are, as long as they're reading the signs and they know where to cross, they will be safe.
Yes.
Right?
Well, thank you.
So thank you very much.
Thank you, Blair.
What kind of turtles have you young ones seen?
So what are getting killed? Who you see mostly?
Painted animals.
Painted?
And what else is
The
crossing?
little ones are cute too.
Snapping turtles?
Yeah.
What else did you see? Spotted? Spotted?
Spotted.
Oh,
Wow. Especially when are they mostly getting killed?
In the June.
June.
July.
And when what happens?
When they're mating.
yeah.
Well,
Oh,
yeah.
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 Yeah, they gotta come out of the water and lay their eggs.
Yeah. You see it a lot.
Well, good for you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you very much.
thank you.
Thank you very much for being stewards of the environment.
Thank you.
guys, that's so awesome.
Oh.
Thank you for responding to us, that's awesome. They're very excited to see that.
The town does respond to concerns.
And that's awesome. No, it'll be so great, and hopefully it helps for sure. Because we were just when we drive up north, so you see the moose crossings. You're definitely more aware, and hopefully
Right.
it drives like, awareness to
And
that.
I will say the Gazette will be writing an article about it. They reached out to me, and they're going to be calling me, and they may contact you,
Yeah.
and looking for background information and things, but yeah. So we're going to give it a little publicity around town, and hopefully it'll inspire other children to watch out for animals and, what crossings we need to have.
I'm just excited. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you again.
Thank you.
Thank you, Blair.
Have a good evening.
Thank you.
Very nice to meet you.
But of importance.
Well, it's exciting stuff, come on.
It is. We have to send you. Okay. Okay. In accordance with the provisions of MGL Chapter 30A, Section 20, notice is hereby given that the Conservation Commission will meet on August 13th, 2025 at 7 p.m. in Town Hall, Meeting Room 124, 1 Liberty Lane, Norfolk, Mass. Members of the public are welcome to attend this in person at 1 Liberty Lane, Norfolk, Mass, or by the remote Zoom connection provided. But please note that the in-person meeting will not be suspended or terminated if technical problems interrupt the remote connection. And you can go to the website and go to the conservation agenda, and you have access to the connection for the website, or to the internet. Okay, with that, I need a motion to open the public hearing on 13 Stop River Road.
We gotta open the meeting.
Oh, yes.
It's continued from last.
Yeah, first we got to open the meeting.
Peter, we're gonna have a motion to open the meeting.
Second?
Jim Wilson, second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Keep forgetting we have to do that. All right. We're continuing the hearing on 13 Stop River Road, DEP 240-0676. This is going to, is anybody here from there? Oh, okay.
And for the commission and members of the audience, Laura Kraus is on Zoom in front of you.
Okay.
Up in the upper right-hand corner from Beta Group
Hi, Laura.
to present on the findings of the peer review.
Okay.
That's right.
Evening, everybody. Russ Waldron here for 13 Stop River Road. So at the first meeting, the commission asked for a couple of additions to the plan. One was of a more secure construction entrance, which we show here, riprap, and to beef up the erosion control. So what we've done here is we've doubled up the silt sock, so there'll be the heavy 12-inch, one on top of the other, backed it up with silt fence, and in front of this on the construction side, it's showing it between the two, but there'll be the bright orange construction fence. And beyond that, I just had a chance to look at the peer review comments, but I can, and some of them are some additional plan additions. So I'm just going to run through them real quick.
Okay.
Under A2A, the abutting property should be shown. That can be done, no problem. Typically, Dunn McKenzie doesn't do that as a rule, I guess, because I don't think I've ever seen them on their plans. The wetland setback from the house to the closest BVW flag is 55 feet. We can add that. I just sketched it in here.
Okay.
Proposed tree line. So this is a tight site, a really tight site. This is the only area they have to work in. And particularly because the septic field has to go up towards the road. So basically, the limited clearing, limit of work, and the new tree line will be the wall and then whatever amount within the erosion controls that they, want to have for yard. They really won't have too much yard. And there's a little bit out back on the septic where the tanks are in the pump chamber. And so that's the tree line, the culvert. So the culvert, the drainage easement is over here. And the culvert is between flags 10 and 11. That's where the head wall and the pipe come out. And I can have the guys over at Dunn McKenzie, label that if you'd like.
Please.
And seed mixes for stabilization. Basically, anything that's not building or forest is probably going to be lawn. So that'll get seeded or turfed, immediately. And yes, lawn, W4 lawn is proposed within the buffer zone. The silt socks should definitely provide enough room. Like I said, the site is tight, so the back wall is going to be the first thing constructed. It has to be. And so that'll stabilize the backyard. Whatever fill is going to need to go in for the tanks and all that, that'll get done afterwards, and then everything works out towards the street. I proposed some landscaping with native shrubs. That would be, like, I was thinking formal landscaping, but using native, pollinating, attracting shrubs. There is some area over here. They have a little bit of room over here. If the commission wanted, we could, do some native plantings, like along the wall or off to the left side of the property. I didn't spec any out, because generally when I go with a formal, or when I propose a formal, I generally wait and consult with the landscape architect or the landscape contractor.
Yeah.
And then I work with them to get the species nailed down. Let's see. Okay, so the remainder of the site, what I generally try and propose is that, especially something like this, where everything is so tight to the 50-foot, the remainder of the property we know is off limits. So generally, like, I'll suggest like some sort of plaques, either fence or posts. Some towns use granite posts, concrete posts, but something visible and definitive with a plaque or some kind of signage that says this is protected conservation area. Deed restrictions require lawyers. I know there's a form, I've seen 1 or 2 different forms, and I've done those, but like I said, I hand that over to an attorney generally, because that's legal stuff and
Yeah.
not my purview. How does the project avoid and minimize impacts of the 50-100? Well, we are outside the 50. It's a tight site. This wall is designed so that nothing will go past that. And over here, like I said, fencing, blacking, bounds of some sort, we can, we'd be more than happy to put it over there to make that definitive, keep everybody out of the 50. And, well, so I did not do an alternatives analysis. Sometimes I remember to, I didn't this time. But they're limited on space. Like I said, the field has to go in the front. The septic mechanics, pump chamber, tank, and everything have to go in the back, and that's all based on soils and design. And so, as far as an alternative goes, I mean, the only option for them would be to reduce the scope of the project or reduce the amount of area here, that we have a Cultec roof infiltrator shown there. And so, I mean, they could angle a wall, something like that to get it a little farther back, but they're kind of limited on what they can actually do, other than completely shrink the size of the house and
Yeah.
everything else. And a certificate of good standing that was provided. And that's it.
Thank you, Russ. Now we'll hear from the Beta Group. Laura?
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Russ, for the overview of the comments and your agreement to provide some of the plan changes. I understand the boundary of the silt sock. The limit of work is essentially going to be the tree line. We just want it to be shown on the plan so that it's formalized as part of the, when this project or if this project gets approved, that it's shown on the plans that there is a formal tree line that's depicted. Don't need to talk about one. We agree with your wetland boundary. In terms of 2 and 3 regarding seed mix, I guess part of the question there was regarding the toe of the wall, because looking at the cross section or the detail that's provided for the wall, there's excavation that needs to happen on the down gradient side. So maybe you could throw or stabilize that toe of the wall with some native seed mix if that could be doable. Once all of that is excavated, you just put back, throw some loam down, and then seed it. And that comes to the other comment regarding the sediment controls at the toe of slope where it is really tight. We understand that you're working with a very limited area, but in a couple areas right where the sock is on the 50-foot and the wall is essentially on the 50-foot, the concern is that there's not going to be enough room to provide your sub base for your retaining wall between that face of the wall and the actual sediment control. So that we just want to make sure that that's that's constructible as shown, because if there's a little bit of wiggle room in there that needs to happen during construction, that'll put you into the 50-foot, and that that wouldn't have been permitted as part of this process. So we want to make sure that you really do have enough room to construct that retaining wall as for the cross section or the detail that's included on the plans.
We could probably adjust that section of the wall up slope
Okay.
some. Yeah.
Okay, and shift it a little bit or something. There's just
Yeah.
there's a little bit of because if you look to the north side, you do have plenty of space there to work. We just want to make sure that during construction there isn't an inadvertent alteration to the 50-foot that wasn't permitted.
Yeah, we can pull that back.
Okay, great. We did recommend a special condition. There was a special condition regarding submission of a dewatering plan if they during construction needed to dewater during installation of the septic system. That's a pretty standard condition. W4, we talked about the lawn, essentially everything up gradient of the retaining wall, it sounds like is going to be proposed to be lawn. I'd like that to be shown on the plans, just called out so that the disposition is formally approved. The W5, we talked about the silt socks. W6 regarding the landscaping. I'll leave that to the commission to decide whether they want plantings along the wall there. Maybe that could be a condition requesting that the list be approved by the commission or their agent. Once you have decided on a plant list, that's something that they might want to see before those plants get installed. W7 was regarding in the notice of intent filing, it does say, to prevent further encroachment, it says via conservation or deed restriction placed on the remainder of the property. Obviously, that I understand that there's a legal implication there, but I guess if you're including that as mitigation, I guess we'd want to know what that vehicle is. Is it just going to be plaques? No actual formal deed restriction that's being placed on the property, or are you actually going to go through a lawyer and get the formal deed restriction? I guess that covers our general comments, and then the 2 bylaw comments. W8 is really just to make sure that you've submitted everything that's required under the bylaw, the alternatives analysis essentially. I think basically what you've explained is your alternatives analysis. It wasn't included in the filing. So up to the commission whether you want them to provide something formal for the record in writing. And then W9, certificate of good standing. Sorry that if that wasn't included we missed it, but thank you for including that in your submission. Happy to answer any questions for the commission. Oh, and one other thing, we did receive the updated plans. We took a look at them this afternoon, and you mentioned the Coltech systems. Those were not on the plans previously. That was not in the version that was looked at the previous hearing. So just bring that up because that wasn't described on the plan as being part of the revision. So I guess that's all I have, but happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Laura. One point about the boundary and about the deed restrictions. Typically, we go with a sign or some kind of a barrier, rocks or fencing or something like that, and not get into the legal unless it's
Fantastic.
really required to because of circumstances. So, but I appreciate all your input and review of this with our agent out on leave. Okay, with that, commissioners, questions for either of the two parties?
No. If the stipulations of the peer review are followed, I would definitely trust that. So, I mean, I noticed a note about confirming the delineation of the wetlands, and has that been done?
Yes, we did. We reviewed
Oh, okay,
the
cool.
delineation in the field and agreed with the flags as they were hung.
Sounds pretty straightforward to me.
Anybody else? Anybody in the audience? Any feedback, questions? Anybody on Zoom?
No.
Okay. Yes.
I just wanted
Oh, you need to identify yourself. You come up and use a microphone, please. Your name and address.
It's out of the way.
do you think this would be helpful? My name is Suzanne Swain. It's like a Mr. Mike. My name is Suzanne Swain, and I am part owner of 53 Mirror Lake Avenue.
Oh, wait a minute. We're talking only about Stop River.
Oh, that's coming next.
You're not up yet.
Wrong property.
Never mind.
Sorry.
We'll be prepared for you. Okay, anybody else? Okay, with that, Rich, we're going to continue this?
Yes. We will need to continue so we can prepare and order conditions. So in terms of the points that are raised by Beta Group, the commission's okay with a fencing placard in terms of delineation. In terms of the landscaping comment that was raised, do you want to, as a condition, have something in there to look at the plant list afterwards, or you just really want to have it more to the perimeter of the property, not necessarily interior landscape?
Yeah, I would say at the perimeter. I think going interior is kind of invasive on our part.
Okay.
Particularly at the foot of the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the remaining interiors of the lot, you're not preferably native species, but if they put ornamentals and so forth, that's not something you'd be averse to?
No.
Okay. All right, excellent. I think those are the only things I put that you gave us feedback, which is great. Is the presentation of the alternative analysis orally acceptable versus a written alternatives analysis for this?
I think that we have it recorded. I would accept that.
Okay, excellent. All right. I think that's it. There are a few plan changes. You're going to make an adjustment to the wall, so we should be able to have those before the next commission meeting.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
All right. So
Okay,
I
we'll
think
continue.
we'll continue, and we'll address the special conditions in the proposed order of conditions
Get it done next month.
for your next meeting.
I'll accept a motion to continue this to September 10th at 7:01 PM.
Adam Zucker, so moved.
Second?
Peter Cook, second.
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay. Thank you, Russ.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Okay, 1 Pine Street. DEP 2400677. This was continued from July.
And they asked for a continuance again.
Yep, okay. So we did receive the check. There is a peer review.
Yeah, so just quick overview for the commission. The peer review has been done related to the Conservation Commission. They're working on the planning board comments that were raised, so they're going to comprehensively address all of them. So they should be prepared for your next meeting to address both. So that's why they're asking for the continuance. And also help you with your agenda timeline. Have one continue.
Okay. And for those, 1 Pine Street, it's a new gas station.
There's a new gas station.
that,
Former transit building, which is being retained, just for the record, so people know. That's going to be adapted into a convenience store. They're proposing a pump station island in the front with a canopy. Not this, it's not conservation, but community awareness, right? With a pitch roof on the pump station to reflect the architect design of the former transit being,
Yeah.
So I think it'll be a nice adaptation for the site.
Okay, so I'll accept a motion to continue this until the next month at 7:05. Pete, Paul, it's your turn.
I'm up. There you go. Paul Khalil, continue, make a motion to continue 1 Pine Street.
Second.
Peter Cogan, a second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay,
Should just modify your motion to September
September 10th.
10th to 7:05 PM.
7:0,
What did we say? I thought it wasn't included.
well,
Yeah.
to
Okay.
the next meeting.
Sorry.
So, all in favor of the modified specific language, 7:05 on September 10th?
Yep.
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
No worries.
Okay, 40 River Road, request for determination, a septic upgrade.
The engineer of record is here in the room.
Okay.
Can come to the mic. I don't know if the applicant's here or not necessarily, but,
Yeah, Lauren Beaver is the homeowner.
Oh,
okay.
welcome.
All right, excellent.
Is this Mike just as well?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, it's a pretty straightforward.
Introduce yourself,
Oh, I'm
please.
sorry. Dave Oberlander with BDO Engineering. I'm here representing Lauren Beaver, who's lived at 40 River Road for how long?
48 years, 47 years?
47 years. All right. He's finally getting off of that cesspool system and getting a real septic system. So the cesspool's in the back, pretty close to the river. The whole lot is within the inner riparian zone, so that's why we're here. It's also, it's a flood zone as well. We're moving the system out in the front, flipping the plumbing around in the basement, and we're able to fit a little system in the front. We're about 98 feet from the riverbank with the field and 86 feet with the tank. But all the work is in existing lawn areas, so there's really no disturbance of natural area. And that's what we're kind of making a bad situation better. So I'll just open it up if there's any questions.
Hey, Rich,
Do you want to,
comments?
do you have any questions, or you want comments first?
First, hear from you.
All right, excellent, so thank you. I had an opportunity to go out to the site, take a look at it, as Mr. Oberlander had said, it's in the front yard, so that's an existing lawn area. Really no grade changes in terms of the system being in place. I did, proposing a recommendation of a negative determination on this. It's a 3 and 6. You can have more discussions, but with a standard condition that, we'll go out, observe the erosion control before it gets in place.
Okay.
Similarly, you approved the septic system, I'm trying to think, I think it was Lakeshore Drive. What we've done is Matt Tanis, who's our Board of Health agent, he'll be out there as on-site as the septic system replacement, so he can do some of that on-site in behalf of the commission as well, just to
Okay.
let you
Sure.
know. But that's all comments
Okay.
at the moment.
Nice.
Yeah,
Anybody-
a few questions.
Yes, Jim.
How much are you disturbing in the back between the house and the river?
Very minimal, just filling in the cesspool.
Okay.
You're not digging it up, you're just crushing it.
Yeah, and pump it out and fill it in.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, in the front, where are you storing any materials that are coming off initially?
They'll probably just truck them right out.
Okay. So I'd recommend, because it's so close to the river, so, I mean, sometimes we've had them put in silt fence, especially in the backward between the river and where you're crushing or adding, where you're digging up and then,
Yeah, we have
How
silt
big?
sock on the plan. Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
How big? Like single silt sock bed, how thick? Like 10 inch?
8-inch
8-inch?
Running from the corner of the house up the side of the driveway to the road, the corner of the house up to the road here. This land burns up at the road, so nothing's gonna go that way.
Yeah.
So everything will be contained within there.
Yeah. Except for the
Except for the
cesspool.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that would be my really only concern is making sure no runoff got into the river. Because, I mean, you know, it has to be done. You need a
Yeah.
septic, you know.
Jim? You had some more questions?
No, that was just it, just make sure there's silt fence and sock to prevent any runoff
Yeah.
from, into the river, any of the fines from the project. That's usually what I recommend, and then that close to the river, I also recommend that the materials are hauled off, stored off-site, and then bring back the loom when you're done, as opposed to storing it on-site so close to the river there.
Okay.
That would be it.
Anybody else in the audience? Okay. So, Rich, it's,
-3 and 6.
-3 and 6.
okay.
Adam Zucker makes a motion that we issue a -3 and 6 determination on 40 River Road with the stipulations that 8-inch silt sock maintained in place and no debris stored on site.
Yes. Is there a second?
Paul
Tim
Khalil,
Wilson, second.
second.
Paul, thank you. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay.
Thank you very much.
I would say you had got your money's worth out of the cesspool.
It was there long before I bought the property.
Yeah. Longevity. Okay, 43 Mirror Lake, notice of intent to construct a new home. Is there somebody representing Russ? Yeah. You're back.
I'm gonna steal one of your pens, okay?
Sure thing.
I don't know what happened to it. Somewhere between the truck and here, I lost it.
43 Mirror Lake.
Yes.
Russ, I'll pull it up. What did you want to see?
All right. Yeah, I can put it up here as well.
Is it 7?
Evening, everybody. Russ Waldron for 43 Mirror Lake Ave. So the project involves the construction of a single-family home. The existing house will be removed and the new home built in its place. There will also be
And the same footprint?
larger.
Larger.
Yeah. And, let me see, I have, yeah, so the new house would be 2,688 square feet. I don't know what the current one is, but it's 1,100. And there's also going to be a 144-foot-long wall constructed just back from the bank of the lake. So it will not impact the lake itself.
Okay, if you could wait a couple seconds till we can pull it up.
It's the last page, 35.
Did you find it?
Yeah, it's the last page.
Oh, okay, bring it down a little bit, Elaine.
We'll make adjustment.
In the way.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, you're,
And can you shift? Yeah. Okay.
If you want, you can shift around too, so you can see it better. Feel free.
Everyone good?
Yep, go ahead, continue, please.
Okay, so as I was saying, there's going to be a wall constructed along the shoreline back from the bank. And
zoom out a little.
there's an existing stone wall right now, right along the bank.
Can you show us the bank, Elaine? Ah, okay.
No, you're good.
That's good. Thank you. Okay,
So,
Russ.
existing stone wall, and the original thought was to replace that with the, it's a ready block wall, correct? That would entail a Chapter 91 filing, which is, they've turned, a somewhat not too horrendous process into a ridiculously horrendous process for that.
We're not doing that, though.
No. And that was one reason. And also the flood elevation for Mirror Lake is 182.2. And so if you are going to build a wall in the water and you affect that elevation, you then have to compensate for it. And so for those two reasons, the wall got stepped back 2.5 feet, I think, from the bank. There's an existing shed that's going to go away as well. The existing driveway remains. It's an asphalt driveway, so that'll be a fairly stable construction.
Elaine, can you bring it down so we can see the top of the front of the house?
Replaced with gravel, permeable material.
Oh, you really? Tougher to plow.
We like that. Shh.
We're all about permeable.
And the existing septic system is in the left rear of the property. That remains, and that's going to get utilized. And we have 2 Cultec infiltrators proposed to handle the runoff from the new dwelling. It'll be a 2-car garage. Everything that gets excavated is getting trucked away. There's really, well, it could stockpile it out near the street, but the plan is to just have nothing on site at all.
Okay.
And obviously, the wall will get built first, and then everything works back towards the road from there.
How much disturbance on the lawn, or the lot, I should say, building this?
Well, the house is 2688. Total disturbance, I did not have the guys at Dunn McKenzie calculate. I can do that.
Just a guesstimate.
Just shy of the whole lot, I would say.
Okay.
Yeah. In between.
We only need the barriers on the erosion control on the front. Laura?
Oh, this has not been peer reviewed yet.
Oh, okay.
No,
okay.
it just went out.
Oh, okay. All right, Rich, do you have any comments at this point?
Actually, I was just going to tell you that we received the check on Monday, and the peer review will be commencing now and be ready for your next meeting, so.
Okay.
Yep.
right, any questions? Do we continue?
Did you want
Before
to,
we continue?
did you want to hear any public comments?
Yeah, I will.
before- Okay.
Anybody in the public, out in the audience? You have a comment, questions?
What about the
Bu-
buffers? Oh,
Name?
Phyllis Anderson.
So we need to, we'll get you a mic.
Clipboard.
Get it for you. No worries.
So the people at home can know who you are.
Great.
Well, you're on camera, so.
Yeah, I know.
We gave up on the clipboard.
Just,
No, there's a clipboard.
the buffer
Name,
zone, Phyllis Anderson, 45 Mirror Lake Ave. I'm 10 feet from their property line. And the buffer, I thought the buffer zones on the sides were supposed to be 25 feet?
There is a 25-foot.
On my side?
Everybody. There's actually a 50-foot under Norfolk's bylaw. There's a 100-foot under the state.
So there should be 25 feet between my property line and the house or the garage?
You're over here?
Yes.
Yeah, right here. This is the 25-foot buffer?
Nope.
50?
And we were grandfathered.
That's right. Well, we have to show.
Why are you grandfathered?
Okay.
The property was developed pre-regulations.
Right, but the existing house is being torn down
Right.
and moved to the middle of the lot, so it doesn't have to stay in the same footprint as...
No, they have to adhere to the regulations and the standards.
Okay.
So are you saying that the plan here is not legal because there's not a 25-foot setback, but we were told by many people that we were grandfathered?
Could be, it's under Norfolk's bylaws, technically a 50-foot no disturb. You
Are you
obviously...
talking about the building code or the conservation code?
Oh, I don't know, actually.
So you provided a building...
Oh, you're talking about the building setbacks?
That's what I think your question
Ask
is.
Phil.
Yes.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I was under the impression that we were grandfathered, and instead of being 3 feet away from her property, we are now almost 20 feet.
Yeah.
So...
No, you're
what's the
12 and a
answer
half.
to- What's
Yeah,
the
that's
answer to your question?
a different department, but that's the information that I sort of heard through the grapevine when you guys were going on about the building setbacks and encroaching. I kind of heard the same thing, so
Yeah, that's a building department.
that's a building
issue.
department thing.
So let me just be clear here. I'm Suzanne Swain, owner of 43 Mirror Lake Ave. You provided a building permit plan that, from your understanding after all the investigation and the information that you had, put forward for this meeting that has the setbacks that they are, understanding that we were grandfathered, and so why is it that nobody can answer Phyllis's
Was it
question?
approved by the building department, Russ?
I assume, I don't know if it went before, it would have had to have been to get,
Do you know, Rich?
Well, that's what needs satisfaction.
So
The
my-
bill,
Wait, yeah, we need to know what the building department has said.
right.
Yeah, so I will say is that we can investigate and come back and report to the next meeting. Not prepared to give you an absolute answer tonight, because I need to confirm with the building department just on the setback, so. But we can have the answer for the next meeting. Because I don't know, I'm not gonna make it off of cuffs, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let me get back to you.
Yeah.
Okay, back
I'll
to you.
just say this for the record, we would not have gotten this far if we didn't have reassurances from everyone that we spoke to that this was a viable plan.
Did you get a building permit?
No, we can't get a building permit until we go through.
All of this, yeah, okay.
Yeah, and we can't even demo the existing Squirrel Hotel
Yeah.
until, yeah. So we're just jumping through the hoops.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, question. continue your questions or concerns?
No, and why does the house not have to stay in the original footprint? I mean, it could be...
That's a building department.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, conservation and building talk to each other, but they're two entirely separate
Okay.
entities and review processes and requirements.
And I'd just like to say for the record that the current structure, which is falling down, it was a cottage that was built in 1937, is 3 feet from the neighbor's property. And when all is said and done, it's going to be over 12 feet from her property with privacy that we will collaborate with her. So not quite sure what the issue is, so.
Okay.
I think it's also going to be farther from the lake, is it not?
10
feet back.
10
Yes.
feet? Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Regardless, we don't have the power.
Sure.
We can't make those decisions, so it's nothing either of you should be worried about until you need to.
So does that plan show the underlying existing? The outline of the existing house that's there?
It's all the grayed out
Where's this deck?
stuff, the deck, the stairs, the sheds over there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So it's right up,
So if it's,
right tight to the property line.
if it's further away from the property line, they can do that because it's less non-conforming than it was before. And they can move it around the site, they just can't make it more non-conforming in terms of the setbacks, but it's kind of hard to see
Yeah.
We don't propose a deck to this new build. There will be no deck.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll look at it a little bit better. Maybe Jim could, I don't know,
Lighten it
colorize
up
it a
a
little
bit.
bit to, yeah, because it's really, I can't
Yeah.
really, it's hard. Just to,
And how far back from the lake is the house supposed to be?
Well, ideally, like I said, Norfolk's bylaw has a 50-foot no disturb, but that's for essentially undisturbed land, forested land. In a situation like this, you design what you want and do the best that you
house
can.
itself, under the zoning setback, the rear setback's 25 feet. So,
Right,
so if it's,
but it,
I don't think it's going to be, is it closer than what it is today?
yes. Because the deck on the original building was not permitted, and it was built within the last 7 or 8 years.
Okay, that's, again, it's another issue it's a building department.
But it's closer to the lake than
The house,
the original,
the structure.
the new house, yes.
Yeah, okay. All right, we'll wait to hear from the building department. And that process, they'll get the plans, and then they discuss it with all the other affected groups like us, the planning board, zoning board, whatever.
Do all those discussions take place before the next September hearing?
We would hope
Or
so.
is that something that is discussed at the September hearing and then?
No,
It would happen in between, but they won't be able to discuss it till the September hearing.
Okay.
Yeah.
If all things fall into play.
Yeah.
Right.
but yeah, Russ will have to coordinate that, I guess.
There's one other thing that I would just like to add, if I could.
Yes.
Rich Anderson is doing all the site work.
Okay.
And so today he provided a document just saying what he planned to do on the property as far as,
Oh, great.
and I don't know if this is a conservation issue, a building issue, but we will not have a basement, we're going to have a crawl space, and so there's going to need to be some digging, and all of that dirt will be used as fill for any regrading that has to happen for retaining walls, if that's what needs to happen, and anything else, as Russ said, would be taken away.
So I have a question for you. The wall, we are not certain yet. The wall that you guys are putting in, is that going to be just a freestanding wall, or are you going to be retaining the rear yard?
It is not going to be it's not going to be a seawall.
You're right.
Yep. It's going to be back
2.5 feet from the
Yep.
bank, but are you planning to fill the backyard up to it?
With the dirt. that
So you are going to
comes
change the grades back there?
For water flow and,
Gotcha.
stormwater runoff and environmental.
Well, the stormwater runoff is handled by the Cultex. Everything coming off the new building goes into the Cultex and gets infiltrated.
Yep.
So that's not really a worry. As far as, other, ground runoff, if you're planning to level it using the new wall, we have to know, or Jimmy and Kenny have to know how much fill, what the new contours are going to be, and that's up to, I'll let them know, and they'll.
So the meaning of me giving you this document was that Rich Anderson has done many projects on Lake Pearl and Lake Archer, and has worked very closely with Daryl Luce, L-U-C-E.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing
The
it.
Board of Health and
Rentham,
Rentham.
that's Rentham Concom.
Yeah.
Manager.
And so anyway, Rich Anderson has been at this for a very, very long time and knows what has to happen, building versus conservation and all that other stuff as far as projects on our lake are concerned.
The only
So we're-
difference would be what Norfolk conservation regulations are compared to Rentham.
I understand.
Hopefully they're minor, but.
But this isn't his first rodeo.
That's it, yeah, it's in his,
Yeah.
They're actually pretty similar.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
okay.
I just wanted to give you
Thank
that
you.
information.
Yeah.
He is a big.
He's
farmer.
experienced, it's not his first
Experienced and
water
and
house.
a collaborator, yes.
Yes. Okay. Anybody else in the audience? Okay.
I have a question.
Question, Paul?
Yeah, if I may. Russ, you said that they were going to utilize the existing septic.
Yep.
How does that fit in with the number of bedrooms from the prior?
That's not our problem.
Oh, there you go.
It would have to be okay, otherwise they would have
Yeah,
to put
right.
in
there
They
was,
wouldn't get the permit.
Sure.
Yeah.
Fair enough, right?
Yeah.
As a commission, aren't we worried about, in not building, that it's closer to the pond? Or the lake?
Within the 50
Because
foot.
it appears like from the drawing that it's 8 feet closer. Is it?
Yes.
Right.
Well, that's why I would like to wait to see what the building department says, and Rich will have conversations with them. And so for the next meeting, we'll be prepared to respond to that issue.
And then second, is the wall required? Or is it a,
No.
is it a neat, nice to have?
Nope, apparently it's to, or at least it sounds like it's to level out the backyard of it.
And also stormwater management.
But it's existing, right? The stone wall there?
This is going to be a new block wall set back
Oh,
from the
you
bank.
are, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I wasn't sure.
Stone walls
that you were
remaining.
Doing that,
Their plan is to backfill the whole
yeah,
backyard.
yeah.
And that's my question.
That's a
is,
question, yeah.
you put it on a wall, repeating water from that property to Mirror Lake, and then if you're going to start adding fill, what is that going to do to the existing water? Where is that water going in relation to the property beside it? And what the elevation is now and what you're proposing it to be
That's what,
in the,
yeah, that all has to get
Served
figured
area.
out now, because we were under the impression that it was just going to be a freestanding, like, people like to have walls when they live on lakes and oceans and ponds, so, but if it's going to be a retaining wall, that engineering all has to get done. Yeah.
you understand what I'm saying? You don't want to put a retaining wall up with all the water going to the neighbor's house.
Well, they can't do that
Yeah.
by law.
That's,
Yeah, they can't do
That's
that.
not the plan.
Yeah.
All right. Anybody else?
So it sounds like we
wait
need to go to the building department and then come back to you.
Exactly.
Okay. Got it.
Yep. So with that, I'll accept a motion to,
Just before you, there are some points you were kind of conversing back and forth on that probably want to try to tune those up before we have somebody go out and, you're going to pay for peer review, so I want to have them peer
Clean it up,
review
yeah.
something and then
Yeah.
peer review again.
Right.
So-
Yeah, I'll get together with the guys over at Dunn McKenzie
Okay.
and have their engineer work on now that I know that, there's going to be some
Okay.
grade changes and such.
All right, so that may affect the timing and just in general, that's all. Sorry.
No, good point. Okay, continue this to the next meeting at 7:15. Accept a motion.
Adam Zucker moves, will we continue this into 43 Mirror Lake until September 10th
At 7:15.
at 7:15?
Is there a second?
Paul Khalil, second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we'll see you next month.
Thank you.
Good luck. Do you live in town now?
I live in Rentham.
Oh, we're glad to have you come.
You know what? We can't wait to join.
Good.
We could throw a stone from where we live to the new build.
Oh,
It's a marathon.
My husband is on the board of directors for the Friends of Mirror Lake, doing, Tom Souza, doing weed mitigation and educational.
and sediment?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. I mean, the lake is beautiful right now. It's tiny, it's only 70 acres, but we really love it.
Yeah.
And we'd love to just improve the property if we can. So thank you for your consideration.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Good. Okay, we're going on to 49 Mirror Lake Avenue, notice of intent to repair a retaining wall.
It's me again.
All right, Russ. Is the applicant here?
That's actually going to be continued to
Next meeting?
November.
November, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So just
I know
one.
You spoke with Susan.
I do, and so I just want to say, your November meeting is the night of town meeting, so
We'll have to change the date.
you have to change the date. So do you have two options? My recommended option is just continue to October for now, and then
Sure.
that we have that
Decide
meeting,
then.
and then decide from there.
Yeah, and if
Just for now.
if you're not ready by then, you'll be able to talk to maybe Caitlin.
Well, that was the
So
conversation.
just a little filler context for this. So we sent this out for peer review. We got the proposal back, and the owner would like to see if perhaps, because Caitlin's not with us right now, she's on leave, if she could perform the review as opposed to having a third-party review. So the owner's willing to wait till she comes back to see. I don't know if it may
she
still
is.
need to be peer reviewed, but
Yeah, it's a budgetary thing. It's a very tight budget for this. And it's repairing or replacing the existing wall
Yeah.
along the bank. So, yeah, she has limited funds to do this. And so, yeah.
Do we have a picture of that, Elaine?
I do not.
We always like pictures. Can you get the crayons out? Okay.
I can go take some for you.
Now, we'll take, if we could, I mean, hopefully by then, we could take some pictures.
I made
It's a very, very tight lot.
Yeah, they all
They all are.
Okay, thank you, Russ. So I'll take a motion to continue 49 Mirror Lake until October.
Adam Zucker so moved.
At what time?
At 7:20?
01.
7:01.
Yeah, we don't have anything else in October yet.
Oh, yeah. 7:01. Yeah, of course.
Fair enough.
Is there a second to that?
Jim Wilson, second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay, it passes. Okay, action items. 28 Long Meadow Road, the enforcement order. We apparently don't have an updated restoration plan, so it's still at a standstill.
we just got a plan in.
Oh, there, hi.
Yeah, so
Hi, Chris.
Hi, folks. Hi, for the record, Chris Bradaroli. I'm a weapons scientist with Goddard Consulting. I'm joined by Omar Guzman from the Spruhound engineering team. And as of probably 4 o'clock this afternoon, we had some plans fresh off the presses that I did send over to Richard just a few hours ago at this point. We've kind of been working diligently to prepare site plan. We did site survey and all the good things that go into that in terms of delineating the wetlands, obviously, which we had. They're now located and shown on a survey plan Omar's gone through and prepared some comparisons of sort of pre and post conditions with what we can discern for topography, done some calculations for cut and fill. I'll let him go into a little bit more detail on those items. But we did just want to kind of have a starting point to initiate this discussion with you folks.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. So if possibly Elaine might be able to give me permission to share my screen.
Sure thing.
Sure.
I can go ahead and pull this up and we can start taking a look through these site plans. Give me 1 second.
It's up. Is that the one you want?
I think that's.
Oh, Chris is he's gonna
Oh, yeah,
display it.
Nick is, Chris is going to do it, yeah.
All right. Okay, can we see my screen here?
Yep.
All right, and at any point,
Can you blow it up a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll zoom in and we can look at this a little
Okay,
more closely.
yeah, as you talk about different areas.
Yep, for big picture, this is what we have for an existing conditions plan. As far as the commission is concerned, our sort of area of interest is going to be along the northern property boundary over here, obviously north facing to plan right. So I think that this is going to be mostly our area of interest in front of the commission here. We have flags A1 through A41, and those denote the limit of the BBW on site here. We have obviously buffer zones shown 100 foot here, 50 foot here. This is our sort of the main impact area right here. This existing silt fence and compost sock is what is on the ground there today for erosion controls. And so as we're working through visualizing this, essentially our impact is within this silt fence and compost stock here. So this is, just to orient everybody, this is kind of what we're working with here. We are showing, I think, pretty much every tree on the site over, a finger's diameter or so. Existing house, pool, and then some of the horse turnout areas, riding ring, stable back here, as well as some containment for some stockpiling of material, and another little corral back here. So this is our overall survey plan here. And then this sheet sometimes takes a second to load because there is a ton of data here. But essentially what Omar and his team have done is take the 2021 state LiDAR, which provides us with topography from 2021 before Clever owned this property. And we've essentially overlaid these with the topo that we've obtained today from survey. And what you're seeing right now is essentially a heat map of cut and fill. So blue being areas where fill has been placed and red being areas where cut has occurred. These are broken out over on the right side here, these two tables. The site as a whole, which I think Richard will care more about at planning board, and within the 100-foot buffer zone, which I presume the commission will be mostly concerned with. So this kind of identifies contour intervals, volumes at each of those contour intervals, and then sums that up down the bottom here. So within the 100-foot buffer zone, we've got a net increase of about 7,700 yards of fill. As we move on down, our proposed grading scheme is essentially nothing more within the, for the purposes of our discussion tonight, within the buffer zone. Our grading scheme is return to existing or pre-existing conditions. So the grading that we're showing here matches that 2021 LiDAR as closely as we can make work. Similarly to that last plan sheet, we are showing the same sort of thing over here. So this is that overall delta of cut and fill that we're showing down here. And each of these contour intervals, we have a volume provided for the amount of fill essentially to be removed from that contour interval. And you can see it again here as sort of a heat map, the darker red being the lower elevations and the blue being the higher elevations. Omar and his guys have broken this out into a series of sort of profiles. So you'll see each of these here. It may be a little tough to see through all the color, but there are profile lines shown here, 1, 2, and 3. And this is a cross section and down here of each of those. So as we look down here, we've got orange is our proposed grade, the dark black line is existing grade, and then the light gray line is the grade from 2021. So you'll note within this first cross section, we are able to return within the 100-foot buffer zone essentially perfectly to pre-existing conditions. There is a little bit of variability in some of these grading proposals because we have some concerns about being able to adequately stabilize soils if we return to exactly how they were prior to any disturbance occurring out here. So we've essentially, what we've done is return to pre-existing conditions as closely as possible while still being able to stabilize that slope. So as we go along to these other two cross sections over here, we have obviously yellow, or that yellow-orange color is our proposed grade, and then this lighter gray line was that 2021 grade. As we are able to tell from LiDAR, it existed in 2021. So section 3, essentially identically the same within the 100-foot buffer zone. Section 2, mostly the same within the buffer zone with about a foot of difference here. It'll be about a foot lower than it was in 2021, again, so that we're able to stabilize that slope adequately. And then for section 1, which is really the sort of fat middle of our fill area as we see it up here, within the 100-foot buffer zone, that returns essentially exactly to pre-existing conditions. As we move down, we start getting into some civil plans. The civil essentially is intended to comply with town stormwater regulations. So we've got a Coltec over here for this structure, but again, this is all going to be out of the buffer zone. And then finally, down here at the bottom, we've got watersheds as they were previously and currently. Again, I think that Rich and his folks will mostly handle this under planning board. So that is essentially what we have for you in terms of our proposal at this point. Obviously, we didn't quite get the deadline to be able to discuss this at the planning board meeting. Was that just yesterday? So we are, you guys are the first to see these materials beyond, our team internally. So we're hoping that this gives us at least a starting point. We are sure that we will continue this conversation with both you and planning board. But we have something on paper that we are able to work from, and I'm sure that everybody needs more time to sit with this before being able to say too much. But we're hoping that we can keep moving this thing along with this plan set.
No, we appreciate the upgrade and the information you've provided us. And yeah, and it looks like you're going into an area that is probably more acceptable than what was done. So we'll wait to review it all in detail, and then, next month's meeting we'll talk about it. And your colleague wants to say a few words?
If Omar had anything to add to what I just ran through, or if there's any questions that we can answer for the commission, we're here for that.
I just want to
identify yourself.
Omar from Spur Engineering. Can you hear me?
Yeah, identify yourself.
I'm Omar. I'm with Spur Engineering.
I heard you for a second there, Omar, and then you cut out.
Can you guys hear me there?
We can hear you.
So Omar with Spur Engineering here. Chris has gone through the plans pretty much in depth. what we've done here within that 100. Still nothing, Chris? I think.
We can hear you. Keep going, you're doing fine.
Okay, I guess Chris,
We're the important
I'll
part.
have to talk to him later. But yeah,
Sorry, Chris.
essentially just one thing I wanted to point out, and to be completely clear with this comparison we've done, the 2021 LiDAR data and the survey data, these are not exactly records. We've gone through, they have a lot of precision, and I've kind of gone with Richard on the details of that. And I could go into it more in case the board is interested in knowing, how precise it is. But we do know that it's information, and we've kind of based that comparison based on that. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is these numbers are, from my perspective, a good approximation. But keep in mind that they're still an approximation, and they're not 100% what the difference is from back when this development came to be, so just to bring that point out here.
Okay, yeah, we'll hear from Rich after he has time to dissect everything you've just given him, and he'll give us feedback, and we'll talk about it before our next meeting, so that we have a good conversation.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
I did want to, well, Chris, I did want to circle back on the water and soil samples, so.
Right.
Oh, yes.
Tests, that was my
Yeah,
question.
so there was some high results, and so I'll let you, Chris, why don't you make a presentation, then I'll follow. How's that? Hopefully.
Can you hear us, Chris? I don't think he's hearing us. Chris? You're on mute. Oh.
I've got no audio. I don't know if you guys can hear me.
Yeah, now we can hear it.
We can hear you.
So he might not be able to hear me then.
Might try and leave and rejoin real quick.
Okay. They did get test results.
Yeah,
And the
that
imported
was,
soil?
I didn't,
Yes, so that's what he'll come back and talk
that
about.
was my only question. We were waiting on those results from last
They need to
meeting.
do some more testing.
It's big.
Well, I don't want to give what the results were. I'll
Okay.
let him do it, and then we'll talk about it. I don't want to
Now you
have any
Dropped
prejudice.
on the edge of my seat.
That'll keep people interested in watching us.
Yeah.
Stay tuned next week.
Sorry about that, guys. I can hear you now. I lost you
Okay.
for the last 2 or 3
Great,
minutes.
Chris. Test report.
What can I, any questions I can answer?
Why don't you give a brief description of what the results were?
Sure thing. So what we have was essentially, so we did, let's see, 2 soil samples, 2 water samples, one on the eastern side, one on the western side of where that fill was placed. And sorry, Elaine, you might have to turn on my screen sharing again.
Oh, sorry. No worries.
While we're getting this going, I will say we did consult with an LSP friend of ours, and she essentially told us that we don't need her at this point, so that was good news. There are a few things in here that I'm sure that we will want to take a little bit of a closer look at, and we will get that going momentarily here. So as a reminder, these were some GPS pins that I dropped as I was collecting these samples. This orange line is that limit of disturbance. So we took 2 soil samples kind of on the downslope of the fill material there, and then 2 surface water samples within the wetland, a little bit down gradient of where that fill material was. So the results that we got for these, I will summarize these in a little table here. There are, for the most part, well, not for the most part, entirely, nothing reaches a reportable concentration that would be that would require reporting under the mass contingency plan. We have definitely more than zero of a handful of these things, but the reportable concentration per the mass contingency plan, and this is the S1 standard, which is the standard for soil on residential properties. We have for, and bear with me because this is a little bit outside of my area of expertise, as I'm sure it is all of ours. Volatile organics, we had P, isopropyl toluene at barely above a trace concentration, whereas the reportable concentration is 100 milligrams per kilogram. Milligrams per kilogram translates to parts per million. I tried to make all of the units here match for easy number comparisons. We did have a hit for diesel range organics at 46 milligrams per kilogram. This test doesn't match up exactly with how the standards in MCP are enumerated, but for any of the diesel range organics sort of sub-constituents, those reportable concentrations are anywhere between 100 and 1,000 parts per million. We are under that at 46. And we had sort of a smattering of metals. I won't go through each of them. You can read them here, and I did send in that that test result sheet to Richard, so if you haven't received that, I'm sure he'd be happy to circulate. But again, all of these are below reportable concentrations and mostly well below reportable concentrations. As far as the water samples, this is, there's not a great point of reference because the MCP doesn't give reportable concentrations for surface water, it's only for groundwater. We did get a small blip of lead in one of those water samples. That was water sample East. So it would have been this guy here. This was closest to that fill pile. And as we were talking with this LSP that we consulted with, she had suggested to us that the overwhelming likelihood was that I kicked up a little bit of sediment as I was walking through there. And because I did this sampling, I can tell you that I think that that's probably true. So what we were going to suggest to the commission to hopefully rule this out, because our other water sample showed no lead being present. The lab told us that essentially we can do mechanical filtration to filter out any sediment that might get kicked up as these samples are being collected, send those off and get those reprocessed. So we just kind of wanted to run that by the commission, make sure that that sounded good, and see if there was anything else that the commission wanted us to do with this information at this time.
My first comment is, yes, it's within regulation, but they're there, which they aren't there naturally. And
Certainly,
so
absolutely.
So it's a concern that the material is contaminated, but within the regulations, so there's really nothing we can do unless it's within our regulations of water boundary, the 50-foot and 100-foot. Rich, you had a little bit of time to review this, and you had some comments?
Yeah, so in terms of the water samples, I emailed Chris and I include the commission, is that recommend that some additional water sampling be done outside of those areas and to resample and hopefully do in a manner in which we don't get any kick-up material, and then rerun these samples as well as far as the water goes to kind of compare results. This is definitely outside of my area expertise. So I'm not quite sure yet. I mean, there may need to just be a peer review just to kind of to level set things in terms of what could typically be expected for material.
I think that would be a good point, Rich. Because it is out of our area. We're not chemists.
Yeah.
Soil scientists. Geez, to the leaves.
Well, that
I would.
Well, even her, I think that's kind of outside her.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I would endorse.
Is that something your client would consider, just to or at least something your LSP can provide.
In writing.
In writing. Yeah, it's not clean, right? So, I mean.
Sure thing. I fully understand that this is nobody in this room's area of expertise. Obviously, I can't go and spend my client's funds on my own, but this is the commission's prerogative. So if that's the commission's desire, we will see what we can do to make that happen. I would suggest as a first pass, maybe I could contact our LSP and just have sort of a letter written up to, a 1 or 2 pager kind of summarizing what we have for results here. Maybe translated to layman's English a little bit. If we could do that as a first pass, maybe?
Yeah, but I would think we would want a peer review because we need to have some support of the information you're giving us of what we're reading, and is it something we should be worried about, or it's okay to say, okay, this project can move forward?
Understood.
So yeah, if you would go back to your client and ask him that about the peer review and get back to Rich, we'd appreciate it, and we can get that kicked off.
The companion to that would be, Chris, as you kind of alluded to, your LSP that you referred to, something from them, kind of a summary of those findings, and then we could take that and then have somebody just review it on behalf of the commission, just to either confirm, validate, or question.
The only question I would have, if that would be the case, if sediment was raised when he was actually taking the samples, perhaps it would warrant taking additional samples, retest them, and then go with perhaps his, person that he feels confident in. But, I always try to lean to an independent, But my question is, this person who you spoke to, the LP, is it, you said? Said that...
LSP, they're
right.
Licensed site professional.
Okay, but you had said that it could have been due to disturbance when you were taking the samples. Is that the way I understood it?
Correct, yeah. So the distinction there is that it could have originated from sediment that was kicked up by a footstep or whatever it may have been, rather than, these compounds dissolved in the water.
Which I think is important to kind of clarify. Yeah.
It's in the water. I'd be concerned, surely. I'd like to confirm.
Well, that's why the retesting.
Right.
So retesting those with then new sampling locations.
Different.
Outside, maybe 100 feet, but significantly space them apart, so we have...
Well, it also begs the question, you probably roiled the water in both testing locations, so why did you get 0 in one location and some registration at the other one? I mean...
Good point.
Yeah, I can't say definitively. I mean, I was definitely trying.
It's a rhetorical question.
Yeah,
So,
no,
we need to...
How they take the samples, you do it on a rod, don't you, with the cup at the end? So you're not next to the water?
That was not equipment that was provided to me by the lab. They only provided the sampling vessels themselves, but I think that was probably something that we would explore as we go forward to take any additional samples. So I will plan to take at least a handful of additional samples, kind of to both rerun the samples that we've already run to the lab, as well as add a couple of more sampling locations as we sort of move further out. I will certainly confer with my client and make sure that he is willing to cut a check for peer review, and we'll work with Richard offline to coordinate that. And we will also continue to develop these site plans, I would imagine with Richard offline for the most part.
Okay. Jim, you had a comment? Question?
I have one concern with the soil sample. It shows arsenic, chromium, and copper, which is first generation pressure treated wood. And it shows diesel. I'm worried where the soil came from, because it could have been in an area where we're not testing for what was actually, these timbers were holding up, and the soil could have been underneath that. And that's why you get the leaching of the arsenic, chromium, copper off pressure treated into the soil on its lower level. You have newer generation equipment running on diesel fuel that would be in the soils also. So what was in the yard that we may not be catching,
And that's
where it
was-
came from?
And that was one of the concerns we had early on, and we questioned, where did this fill come from? He has to have some idea of what site this came from.
Absolutely, yeah. I believe, and don't quote me on this, I know I was speaking at a public hearing. I'm not 100% certain on this. I believe that most of the fill, if not all of the fill that came in from off-site, came from a site in East Boston.
So then, so if you're an older generation storage center, you would have the pressure treated ties holding up coal reserves, or it could be a multitude of anything, salt. So my issue is that we're looking at some of the common things, but these common things are now indicating that there might have been something else in the soil that we're not testing for that would be common where it came from that they'd be storing. If you follow me. Like,
that may
we're
be
not
the
looking
case.
at.
I don't have a good answer for you.
Yeah, and the other, yeah, because the other thing that it also leads to is railroad tracks, because you've got the leaching from the timbers and you've got diesel residue. So,
if he could identify the property, I mean, we can do a little bit of research also and say, oh, this is what happens on that property or did happen on that property.
I can certainly see if I can confirm that for you.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else have a question, comments?
So just wanted to
Go ahead,
circle.
Rich.
Yeah, circle, sorry.
Circle it in.
So you need to grab samples, send them to the lab and get tested. There was a little challenge last time getting those lab result tests, so is it reasonable to think that all will be back by the next meeting?
And you think you can get it timely?
I think there was a little bit of an administrative hiccup in terms of setting up a payment account. So I think that now that we have that set up,
Okay.
I think that things will go more smoothly this time around.
Okay.
They'd be on more of escalated, I guess?
No.
Expedited schedule. I know you had, what, 2-week turnaround, I think, right, was one? And
Yeah, I think they promised a 2-week turnaround if all the other extraneous things go smoothly.
Okay.
So I think that we can make that happen. You know, if I contact them tomorrow, they'll have bottles at my desk at 6 a.m. the next day.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. In terms of like the peer review aspect, that's something that needs to be,
We'll talk about it.
yeah, it won't be, I mean, not for the next meeting, just.
It may come up at the next meeting.
We're tracking that way, but yeah, we need to kind of refine that.
Their consultant is.
I mean, this is exactly what happened at the Mann property. Not saying it is that they originally tested for materials that weren't going to be in the soil, but the chemicals that were in the soil we tested later.
Yeah.
And that's when we found the bulk of the issues on the Mann property. So we just want to make sure, now that we have some idea where it was taken from and some of the other underlying factors that we could see it was from,
Yeah. No,
possibly an industrial area, what was the industry, so we can track the chemicals.
agree. Yep.
Okay, you think you'll be ready for September to have some feedback?
I think let's hold that date for now, and if
Okay.
something comes up that, you know, we can't make it happen, we'll let you know. But I think at the very least, we'll probably show up and give you a quick update.
Okay. Yeah, we can always continue it.
Yeah,
All right.
and through the chair, if I may.
Yes.
I understand that there is certainly concern about whatever is in this soil. I just want to reiterate that the proposal will be to remove it all at the end of the day. Just wanted to reiterate that fact.
Okay.
That
But I guess the
doesn't, I know
concern
that
would
doesn't
be, is
absolve
there any
us from
residual?
having to do anything about it.
Yeah, is there any residual as a result of what
Right.
happened, even you taking it away? So, okay, no, we appreciate that, Chris, and your concerns. And thank you,
Absolutely,
Omar.
thank you.
So I'll accept a motion to continue this until September 10th at 7.
We don't need to make a time, do we?
I don't have a time.
Because it's an action
Not a
item?
public hearing.
Oh, okay.
This is an action, yeah.
All right. Oh, that's right, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, next month. Good night.
Thank you.
Thanks, folks. We'll be in touch.
Thanks.
Okay, 6 Magnolia Circle, a CFC, Builder Lot 13.
Yeah, so this is a partial COC. There's 2 in a row here, 6 Magnolia and then 44 Noon Hill Avenue. The COC wasn't ever requested and completed for the roadway, for the subdivisions that were built years ago. And as they're doing title exams now, it's a little bit more thorough in terms of these, so they requested a COC. So the work is done, these are all public roads, so it's just a matter of issuing a COC for the road.
It's Magnolia.
It's over here. Trying to think, hold on a second.
Come on, Zulu.
I know
Paul's doing it, let's see, oh, okay. It's a competition.
I got laptops, I'm trying to work on it.
Is it Magnolia?
By all means.
Yeah, circle.
Circle.
General location,
It's
Main,
It's off
back
Castle Road.
between Union Street and Main Street there.
by Castle Road?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
all right. Thank you.
yeah.
Not that far.
You have my ways.
It's the first cul-de-sac off of Castle.
Ah, okay.
Coming off of Union.
Got it. Thank you. Okay, 44 Noon Hill?
You probably know where that one is, right?
Yeah.
All right. Same,
So we just
same
have-
situation.
We just have to issue them.
Issue, correct. A partial
Okay.
COC.
Yes, one of them wasn't in the files, right? Wasn't, is that what you said, Elaine?
In the shared drive?
No, I mean in our files. I thought there wasn't a document that history of it. So that's why we're or they
Oh,
don't,
yeah, no.
they don't have the original, and we need to give them an original.
Right, that's the, he's actually on
That's the next one.
MBTA.
These didn't exist. That,
The MBT, oh, okay, all right,
Yeah.
all right.
Jumping ahead.
Okay, okay.
a little bit.
So you want us to,
Hopefully vote.
Yes,
we'll make a motion for each one to
Identify
request a
them.
certificate of compliance.
identify them,
What's that?
identify them,
Okay.
please.
I make a motion for 6 Magnolia Circle, request for certificate of compliance, DEP 240-80B, Builder Lot 13.
Second,
Paul Khalil, second it.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay, 44 Noon Hill Avenue?
And that is to issue
44
the
Noon Hill Avenue
Pardon?
request.
That's to issue the partial certificate of compliance
For Noon Hill.
for Magnolia.
Magnolia.
Do you want to amend your motion?
To,
Just to say partial?
Just say partial.
Partial
Just a
certificate?
okay, because it says on here. Okay. I amend my motion for a partial certificate of compliance for DEP 240-80B, Builder Lot 13.
You agree, Paul?
I do.
A second. All in
Second.
favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. 44 Noon Hill Avenue.
Is that a partial also?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Not voted.
44 Noon Hill Avenue, partial request for certification of compliance, DEP number 240-3.
Second.
Paul Khalil, second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay. MBTA, they want a CFC.
Now that one, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
And was it, who's on for this?
Jeremy Fontaine.
Hi, everyone. This is Jeremy Fontaine from MBT Environmental. I'm here with our consultants as well.
Okay, go ahead. You've got the floor.
Awesome. So there's a little history. So we were originally seeking a COC for this, but to my knowledge, it was already given to us, and I think it was during the COVID time, and it appears to be lost. We don't know if it's on our end or where it is. I know Nick was on the call, can do a brief history as well, but we just wanted to talk with the commission to see if you could recertify or we could present the project. Just want to see what our options are to get that COC.
Okay, Nick, do you want to explain what the CFC was for?
Yeah, you bet. Nick Henke, HDR Engineering. Nice to see everyone this evening. So this would be phase 1 of the Franklin Line double tracking project. It was from the Norfolk Walpole town line to outbound to Rockwood Road. And that was to reinstall a former double track through that stretch of the right-of-way, and then improve some drainage and some signal elements as well. So that work was approved in 2018. It was all installed and completed in 2020, and in 2020, thank you, Elaine, for tracking that down for us. A certificate of compliance was issued. We just don't have, it wasn't recorded with the registry, and we don't have the original to record it.
Okay. So what we have to do tonight is just...
Reissue?
Yeah, and sign it. So basically duplicate what we did before is go for approval, and then we'll sign it tonight. And then they can have it in their files.
Right. I have it prepared to sign.
Okay, thanks, Elaine. Any questions, comments? Then I'll accept a motion.
Adam Zucker moves we reissue a certificate of compliance for DEP 240-599 MBTA.
Second?
Peter, we'll get in a second.
Thank you, Peter. Any further comments, questions? All in favor?
I just have...
Yes, Jeremy.
Sorry, sorry, I stepped in before you were...
No, that's okay.
That could be, that copy could be sent to Nick for HDR. We don't have the MBTA, we can't register it. I don't have the capability of doing that. It could be sent to them.
Okay.
Okay.
We can do that.
Can you send me that address?
Nick?
I'll follow up as soon as we leave. Yep, you bet.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you, Nick.
Send you an email. Yep.
Okay, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Passes. Jeremy, if I could ask you a little personal question. Do you have brothers?
Yes. I do not. I am an only child.
Oh, okay. Because I know Fontaine's from Vermont, and I didn't know how common a name of that was.
Smith of France or Smith of Canada. I think it's very
gotcha.
common.
Hey. All righty. Thank you. Have a good evening.
Thank you, too.
Thank you very much.
Yep. Campbell Forest Trails Community Service Project. Richard.
You're up.
You contacted the Lions?
I contacted the Lions. I need to hear back from them, but one of the projects we talked about was actually two projects. One is the 4-H project to put down mulch, which is not the Lions, but remember we talked.
But we're not going to do that. We're just going to do wood chips.
That's what I meant, sorry, wood chips.
And they have the 4-H help.
And 4-H would help. But then also the contact the Lions Club about taking down some trees as a community project. So I just need to talk to the interim town administrator about liability and so forth to be able to do that. So if we get the okay on that, then we can reach out back to Lions to do that. And these are trees
And I'm a Lion, so we have a business meeting next week, so it should be brought up there by our contact. And hopefully they'll agree that, it's a good service project for us in September or whatever.
Is the holdup the town may have to secure the names of the people doing the work?
Well,
So
no.
they can issue insurance for the day they're
No,
doing
there's
it,
a
or-
new kind of policy that the
So they
town
would want a
administrators-
certificate of insurance where the town is named on it as.
Bonded.
But it's going to be for basically every event
Doesn't have to be
or action item.
Doesn't have to be bonded, but in terms of liability, that as a community organization, the Lions Club, that the town is named on that policy for that event, so if something were to
okay.
happen. So it's covered under the Lions liability, not the town of Norfolk.
Okay.
And it's, as I say, it's good for other events that another group might want to do. They have to do the same thing. So
Yeah, so.
we'll see how that goes.
Most importantly, you said you're a lion. I want to hear you roar.
After the meeting, we'll talk about that.
Sorry.
You'll be,
Past my
you may be
bedtime.
regretting that. Okay. Minutes. When did these come out? Today?
No, they.
Oh, have they? Okay, I'm sorry. I was sick all last week, so I was kind of in a daze and confused.
I guess.
Anybody have questions or comments?
Clerk, okay approving them?
Yes.
Okay. All right, then, I'll take a motion to accept the minutes of July 9th, 2025.
Paul Khalil, I make a motion to accept the minutes for, I don't have my glasses.
July 9th.
Thank you, sir.
All in favor? Oh, second.
Oh,
Peter, we're in a second.
thank you, sir.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right. Correspondence, our friends at Water and Wetlands.
So I did, I don't know if you saw, I shared an email from the Knoxes, I couldn't remember the name, I always apologize for that, but they sent a nice email thanking the town for the, which you should see the results of, right? Highland Lake is seem better to you?
Yeah, well, I tell you, quite honestly, in years past, it was horrendous, and it was obviously to tell, even from the tracks, but clearly, tremendous amount of difference. They accessed the property. The first time they came and sprayed, I was not present, but the second time, they made a good showing. They were on time, professional. You know, they're a good organization.
Such a firsthand as well. It's great. And then, like I said, Knox sent over an email appreciating the effort that the town's made in terms as well, but Highland Lake. The other, actually it's not on here, but it's related, so might as well do a Comey Pond update?
It was, well, City Mills, where's the aerator going? City Mills or Comey?
No, Comey, but
Yeah, go
it's
ahead.
related, but. you know,
Yeah, okay, yeah, Comey, give the update on the aerator.
So the aerator on Comey Pond, the electric, so the electric pedestal is up if you drive by and see it. The wiring's been put in, it's up the pole, so now they'll need to have to make the connection with, Eversource to activate it. Joe from Water and Wetlands, I've spoken to him. We're in good timing in that, so that would be something that they would be doing October, November timeframe, so we're okay on that. I'll let him know, and then he'll coordinate with the electrician in terms of the rest of the electrical setup. One thing related to Comey's Pond, we did miss the window to treat it this year, because that should have happened in May. So there was,
Why wasn't that on the list?
it was on the list, there was a scope that didn't come back, it was missed internally to be able to get that done.
Okay.
And so, so they're not gonna be able to do it for
What
2025.
were they going to treat for? I mean, same as, in regards to Highland Lake, they treated for water chestnut, milfoil, and I believe those are the two culprits that,
Ollie there.
right. I mean.
I think it's a general, what, they use the same chemicals in every,
Well,
mostly.
the milfoil, they use a different chemical.
Yeah, but I'm saying that they're, with what the problems Norfolk's had, it seems like they use the same combination of
Yes,
chemicals.
that's correct. And I believe, Richard, you spoke with James, not Joe. Joe is no longer the manager over there. It's James.
Water and wetlands?
Yeah.
What was that?
No, I spoke to James. I've, had been in contact with them. They have to access Highland Lake through my property. So, and I've actually tried to initially send Joe a couple of emails, and it bounced back to James. So I was going to call Joe and just see if he's still with the company.
When was that? Is that recent?
Well, I mean, this last spring, but I can look back. I keep all my backup.
Joe from Wetlands?
Yeah.
He's still there.
Well,
I don't know. I haven't seen anything in the last week from him, so.
right, no, as I say, when I initially sent the initial email to Joe, James responded. As a matter of fact, Joe had sent me contact information to speak to James directly.
Okay. Yeah, if you could follow up on that, Rich, it would be nice to know.
I can give you his direct number if you want to.
Okay, well, we can do that offline.
Sure. Yeah, no worries.
Well, I talked to him, that's why I'm kind of confused.
Right.
I talked to Joe recently about Comey's, that's why.
Talk to Joe?
Yeah.
I mean, well.
Maybe they don't like you. Joe's hurt
I don't
about
know,
you.
because, who signed?
We actually get along good,
I know.
myself and Joe. Joe is a pro.
Yeah,
He
I
was
thought
with
that-
Solitude.
Yeah, we hadn't heard anything different, so.
Right.
I'll follow up, yeah, because
follow up and-
I just talked to Joe, let's see, it was July 29th. I have an email that I talked, because I sent him reason why, well, part of the way I communicate with him is I sent him a sketch of where the pedestal is.
Right.
And where the electrical connection will be for the dissolved oxygen to go in Comey's pond. And so my communication with him is to want to know whether it's going to be a 120 or a 240 service.
Yeah.
And that he would then,
120, isn't it?
it could do either one.
Right.
They just need to know.
And the electrician was already doing it. And they don't need to dig it, because it's just the pipe that goes out blowing the air. So it's no trench needed. They just dig it down a few inches, whatever.
That was on his, I called the office, so.
Okay, it's not,
This is his personal cell number, if you
Okay.
want to take it and call him.
let's,
Let me know.
No worries.
Yeah, oh, well,
yeah, please follow up.
yeah, I have to follow, because,
Yeah, he's been our main contact.
yeah, he's supposed to be coming out. The other fellow who was, so what happened was the original person from Water Wetlands was on, he submitted the scope of work for Comey's Pond. He's out in the field, so he's not accessible, and I would think of this column.
Branch manager. That was Joe's title.
Okay.
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
Joe, James, 6 of one.
yeah.
Half a dozen.
Well, I'll find out. I'll get,
There you go.
just to be sure, but, so let's see who's on first, who's on second, so.
Okay.
I don't know who's on third.
Yeah.
All right.
He asked about what was City Mills, though, what was in there, so I was gonna
Right.
look and see. Let me go back and see, look at City Mills.
Okay, can we continue on, or?
I definitely didn't mean to extend it.
Yeah.
You know, we just went through a marathon, 3 hours, what was it, last week, was it not?
You have to take us to Eagle. Okay, Rich, can we continue?
Sure, yeah.
Okay, which
I can give you a little more at the next meeting, how's that?
Okay, yes, please. Okay, so, open space recreation plan. We had the interviews. I guess, do you think we received the information and feedback that we wanted? And the second, and maybe the main question is, are you satisfied with the 3 candidates, or should we open it up and try to find other candidates for this process? So, whoever wants to start.
I myself thought that, each individual company presented their wares, as it were, equally as well. I initially didn't have an opportunity to see what the dollar number between them.
Yeah, we haven't seen that yet.
Right. That would be the only limiting factor.
Yeah, but it has to be within our budget.
Sure, clearly.
Okay.
I thought one gave a great presentation, more aimed at what were the key factors of what people in our community would be looking for answers out of a report. And then there were some that seemed to want to charge the town for maps, which others included, not an interactive plan, not copies of the books, and didn't seem so engaged with a town our size, but talking about towns that were either much larger or projects that weren't the same scope of what we were asking to do. And we asked them, that's why I asked each of them the same pointed question about, picking Campbell Forest, for example, what would you do differently? And we got nothing more than, on at least one response, than what we already know. We need help deciding what we need to do. And we need an action plan, and we need, a maintenance plan. And I think one of the companies was kind of head over the others as far as what we really needed on the trails and what we needed overall in a plan for a town our size.
I do agree. One was definitely stronger and clearly had all the right answers. The others seemed to be stumbling and searching and seemed to be a little overwhelmed by it. I agree.
I think there was very little, it was more of a generic approach, that could have been presented to almost any town. And it wasn't even, kind of even looking at, I felt like one presented, they had an upper hand because they had done work in the town. But if you're going after a project like this, then at least know some of what is going on in the town at the start. And, maybe have a map with you, so you're at least familiar with the properties in town and, what we have, what we don't have, what needs to be improved, and have some idea that way. But, to say you've done these larger city projects doesn't help us, because we're not a larger city. We're a small town. We've got the growth that we have. We're trying to figure out a plan on how to manage it. And one seemed to understand where opportunities are and where future issues may occur that we don't have now, but we may have in the future. And I see, one of them as a definite partner in the future, helping us as we go forward, because they seem generally concerned.
We interviewed 3, and you're only talking about 2.
Well, I didn't want to.
Well, no.
I think.
Yes, there is an A, B, and C. We could rank them. But I would agree with you, there's 2 stronger candidates that we might approach.
Yeah, I just think it was one candidate, and the other 2, to me, were kind of even. And
the other one, Parr, has done work in town, so they should know the town. But I'll come back to that. Okay, Adam.
I thought one presentation was really well coordinated, and they came to show their attention to it. And I thought the final presentation, I thought those people were probably very accomplished at what they do. I think the middle presentation, they had somebody on vacation, and it seemed like they were in a position where they just weren't ready to give us a presentation. And like Paul said, money is a factor, but if we want the attention to this that we deserve, then the first presenters kind of showed us that attention. It's probably not a matter of the differences, the capacities of them, but if we have to work with these people, then I want to know that they're going to be willing to invest in it, like they did their presentation. And they had 4 people here.
Peter?
I agree with everybody's feedback. There's one that stands head above shoulders. That's exactly what they're.
Okay.
Right. The only question I will add to, if I may, to Adam's statement, the middle company, as you say, the question was posed approximate on the hard line of the 9 months. Then it went to 12, then it was 24 months. That was a clear indication to me from that standpoint that it wouldn't be accomplished in a timely fashion.
Rich, can you confirm that they're all within our budget?
Yeah, I can do that.
And
because you've seen the quotes, so you know.
No, actually, I haven't. I haven't opened them yet.
Oh, okay.
No.
Then never mind. But
if you felt comfortable enough to make a
no, let's wait. Let's wait because we've got to continue this. Go ahead, finish your comment.
The only one other that I was going to add to the first individuals seemed like they were a full service, that they could help us through any and all processes, through, whatever's required, whereas I did not get the same feeling from, the other individuals. Okay. So it seemed not a strong competitor in that sense.
Okay, my comment is, and I watched the videos today, and I would recommend you do that. And you pick up things. What I picked up, and Rich and I talked about it a little bit today, they didn't talk recreation at all. And recreation is a big part of this. And the Director of Recreation, Ann Proto, mentioned it today. I don't know if she followed up with you.
She did, yeah.
But what she saw, it wasn't what to her liking. And she wants to make sure that recreation is part of it. And I'll give you history in a minute. What we're going to suggest is they come back for a second interview. And that's what the 3 of them.
The whole 3 of them?
What they need to do is, and we'll have to give them some type of a conformance, because we don't want to reiterate everything they said, but they missed parts, and like recreation, and, maybe we give them points that we don't think that they addressed, and we'd like them to address it. And, maybe the number 3 candidate with the right person back can explain and get them out of the rut. But yeah, I think we should give them a fair assessment, because it is a big investment on the town's part, and it's a very important one. And talking to Ann Proto today, the last one that was done 7 years ago, she didn't do a third. CPC did it because they fund it, the Community Preservation Committee. So she didn't have any part of it, and it came back as a useless piece of document because it really didn't show action plans and what needed to be done and how to do it. getting back to what you're saying and what I think we all want, is a book that's on the shelf that we can go to and say, okay, these are our projects, here's the priority, let's start working with them, and what grants do we need, and be able to work with somebody to do that.
I mean, I agree with you, because just because we may feel we have enough, we're not saying we do, say we have enough field space right now for what we have in town, that doesn't mean that this plan shouldn't incorporate what we're going to need 20 years down the road, and gradually, how do we multi-use these fields in a better way as we're building them?
Well, both as active and passive pieces of property.
Yeah.
In development. And so, yeah, and that's why it's concerning. And I didn't really, she mentioned it, and so that's why this afternoon I spent my time watching them. And, they go by pretty quickly. And, yeah, you start picking up little nuggets of what wasn't talked about or what was said that, oh, okay, that makes sense. And so my recommendation, if you're all in favor of it, is that we invite them back and see who comes back, and then, we'll pick a date. Unfortunately, it'll probably have to be a special meeting, and we'll post it, and so it's a public meeting. We didn't post this one.
No, you posted it.
Well, we did. I thought you said we didn't.
No, it was.
Oh.
It was, if it's videoed, it's posted.
Yeah.
Right?
It was properly posted.
Okay.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so
would it be feasible to have other members of town government here that would be represented in the plan?
Well,
and that's my, I mean,
this is my list of people it's about 15 groups in town.
Yeah.
I would suggest that we have recreation as part of it. Because it's a valid point that we didn't include them, and they should be representative so that we can.
So they will be represented in
the steering committee, but they could be part of the interview process. The interview process doesn't have to be this board
So
alone.
maybe the questions that we do ask, if we give them some things to prepare for in advance, would maybe be some of the things Ann sees that are current issues, and what she's seen in the last, 8 or 9 years going forward, what could be some of the issues, and what she sees maybe other towns have done.
Yeah, and we see
to ask them about that.
Well, and the future of Norfolk, we've got a big piece of land from the Department of Corrections that's going to get developed. How is it going to get developed? Who's going to just throw a dart, or is a professional going to say, all right, what are your demands? What does the town want? And you're going through the surveys, and you talk to all these people, and as I say, it's about 15 groups I quickly wrote down today. And you get the feedback and say, okay, we've selected you, and we're going to have a steering committee, which they all agree to, but we're going to get input from all these groups. And yeah, what do we want out of that new land? What potential land should we be looking at? Because there are big pieces of property around town that,
Kind of like what Walpole did.
Yes.
With a multi-use facility.
Possible. Yeah. But we may say, no, why do it? We'll satisfy our needs and not look what other towns need and could rent from us. But Walpole put up a beautiful facility, and yeah, they rent
Be
it out.
interesting to find out from them what their maintenance budget is for facilities like that, because if we got grant money to build the whole thing identical to them, what is it going to cost us a year to maintain it?
Yeah.
And do we need a grant money for that, or is that something the town's willing to pay for? Because we can't tell the DPW, you've got another 10 acres to mow.
Oh, no, yeah. That's artificial grass.
Yeah. So, but again, that would be some of the way to go with, and I guess kind of the questions that we missed.
Yeah.
Because I'm not dealing with what Ann deals all the time. We're dealing more with what the trails are, and
Yeah, and yeah, she has different requirements, and are they growing? Are they stabilizing now? What future sports does she think is going to come into town that would need land?
Or do we have land that we can lease for clubs?
Yeah.
That we can make some actual money to pay for
Well, they do that now.
I mean, you get some of these club soccer teams, we lease space.
Yeah.
So.
What, Elaine?
Could we send out some bullet points of subjects, particularly recreation?
So I think the slight difference, we would have a series of questions, we give it to them in advance.
Right.
Yeah.
It's going to be tighter.
Everyone on an even keel.
And so, and so what my thought was, I mean, I made this list of potential members, is send them a letter, a memo, and say, we're going through this plan, and we're looking to pick out a vendor. What are your concerns and issues that you want to have represented in this plan? And it goes from, go ahead.
Let me just give you a slight option to that. Is I think those different groups would need to participate in the plan.
But they don't
need to participate in the selection of the firm.
No, but I wasn't going to open it up to them, but just what would you like to see in the future?
So there will definitely be they need to be part of that process. And just
but you don't want to bring them in at this moment.
Not yet, but I think Park and Rec is,
they're definitely, they're partners.
So target, specific questions that you want to have them answer, be prepared to come in. And I think if the consensus is it was maybe a little bit lighter on the recreation side of things.
Yeah.
Explain more on that, and then I can pick a date, if you want to pick a special date, kind of coordinate with them when that would be to make sure they make it. It doesn't necessarily have to be in the evening actually it's got to be 6, right? I think so.
Yeah, I get here by 6.
Yeah, okay. So it'll be in the evening, but.
And it'll be, I don't know, we'll have to determine how much time we're going to give them. Is it a half an
I think
hour?
it'll be easier for them if we give them the questions.
Yeah.
And they're just, 15 questions, they're giving their speech on what they feel about each.
And they can present their answers in advance and then talk through them.
And then they just prepare, we could talk about each.
Give them questions in advance. Yeah, definitely give the questions in advance.
Yeah.
Would you want a written response or just have them come present to you?
I'd like to see, a written one and also respond to it.
Okay.
Because a written one will also have questions on.
Yeah.
But that's how I would see it going. And then from there, hopefully we're able to make a selection.
Do we let them know some of the hard points of what you put in the budget to be done, of them, some things that might have been confused by some of the people that were here? Like, for example, if you said the maps were included as what they had to do, and one says they're not going to prepare, maybe they should be warned that this is part of the budget that you'd be expected to do. Is this something that you can do?
Yeah. Well, now that, it looks like we're leaning towards the second interview, I will reach out to that firm and say, clearly, maps are expected as part of this project. So if that's not what you think you're going to be delivering, maybe you don't want to come in for a second. They may self-select them out.
And it's like Paul said, the one said it may be 2 years. Here's our time frame. Are you going to be able to make it?
It was the same one, actually, but.
Yeah, but I can.
Try not to point fingers.
No, I understand.
But it gives them all a second chance to say, okay, yes, we can do it, and we can do it in the time frame, and we list what our questions are, and everybody gets the same questions.
Yeah.
But like that one party, we would also note that mapping is part of the deal.
Yeah.
That's not a good negotiable
one
thing.
that
Brought it up.
Right.
So that was honestly a kind of
telltale
red flag to me, because I went back through the RFP. I didn't see anything in there that you should have interpreted maps were not part of it.
I agree.
Because maps are required.
Yeah.
To be approved by.
But they wanted us to do it, and we don't have the
Yeah,
resources.
right.
And that's what we said.
No, so.
Well, they were also dealing with somebody, I think the point person was on vacation.
Yeah.
So the person presenting may have been mistaken. I don't even
Well,
know
that's
how
right.
much authority.
That's why I say, bring them back for.
That's the benefit of the doubt.
Well, no, I get it.
I'm ready to vote tonight. I'd be fine voting tonight.
No, I
But
see
they
the
can
man's
change my
already
mind.
Closed up, he's ready to go, I can tell.
I think the map-
That man's up.
That's my bedtime.
Yeah, I can
If
tell.
I'm not
Sure.
mistaken, I think the maps were in the
Right.
non-presentation of the maps was in their presentation, the written presentation.
Right. The only thing that, as you say, Adam, the individual in question seemed pretty definitive about, not my job, that's on you guys, and I had to look, who's she pointing at? Because,
Yeah, I agree.
me no obli.
So it's always, I mean, if you want to do that, it's fair is fair, and just say, look, here's the job. We're not, you're not holding a gun against you to do it.
Requirements.
If you want to, you can. If you want to come back for a second interview, you can. Or do we have to put it out and ask if you've got another couple of people that have volunteered?
Right.
We give them the questions and they come out. I don't know how that would work.
Well, I guess it gets back down to, are you comfortable with the information we were given to make a decision tonight? Or do we have a second interview and get some further information?
I mean, to me, I'd be happy with a second interview with our top client, but also, this is an important thing. If I may be missing something that David picked up on, that maybe it's better to have all three come out and have all three do it, and if they want to, there's no,
This is my question to that point is, as you say, if one of them opts out, that they are unable to do the mapping, say, so then it's down to two. Do we go with two, or do we bring another individual in the mix and start the process
Well,
again? That would
and then
be my
again,
question.
I think this idea of the second review with the questions is good because Recreation never got their just due in this last one.
Fair enough.
What if they come out and they say, yeah, we know what to do for your conservation land, but we don't have much experience dealing with recreation, and we think you're all set. Well, that might not be what we're looking for. And so we want to make sure that, one, that's what's expected, and two, they know exactly where we're coming from as a collection of town groups.
Yeah.
So not just, it's hard for them because they're making a pitch to get a job to one section of the job. So you're always going to make a pitch to that group.
But yeah, and that's why
makes it a little bit
Ann
harder.
had a valid point that we should have included recreation as part, during the interview as being one of the interviewers. Either her or a representative from the commission, their recreation committee.
Or at least giving them the opportunity to give us a list of questions they want asked.
Yeah.
They could have read the same three things and said, hey, we'd like these questions asked.
So the, kind of the summary of that, like from taking that in, was do you, again, start over, or do you give them an opportunity to come in and try to address that point, and you're satisfied, then you can make a selection. But to your point, Jim, if not, then we can do it again, so.
Or do we bring in the top candidate and as the second interview, like you would do a job, and ask the questions that we want to have answered, along with including the recreational part.
Yeah.
And see how they fare, and if what we hear is good and we're comfortable in appointing them, then we can do that. If not, we'll go to candidate 2, and then.
I think when you brought up the very good point, if we give them bullets on, and, in writing, that they can review and get back to us, that may answer a lot of the questions that, do you involve, what have you done with rec, Parks and Rec? They may say nothing, they may say, oh, we've done a lot. So it may, I think that's quicker and easier to send, an email off to each
Give them 30
individual.
days to
Right,
respond, or 20
exactly.
days.
Yeah, I think if we
maybe
give them the
even-
questions, if they
think
want the
that'll
job,
answer
they'll
a
come.
lot.
And then they'll be able to, the ones that aren't so familiar with the town will actually see the true colors of what they would do with, this is what we're coming from now. Because it's almost like we had them come in here. You tell me what you think I'm thinking I want.
What you want to hear.
And that
sure.
was,
there any questions on the open space side of things, conservation, that you feel you want to? Like to add those questions? They're really more talking about recreation, I think.
Wait a minute. Did we want to talk more about recreation?
Yeah, no, I mean on the conservation, open space side of things, are there questions, or these
Yeah, I
questions
think
more recreation?
I think I want to zoom in on their evaluation of the town as a whole and potential properties that the town could acquire or
In the future.
work with a relationship with the owners for open space and conservation.
So why don't I propose this? You can individually send me questions, okay? And then we'll set up a meeting just to kind of vet, and I'll talk to Ann too, kind of vet out those questions, and then we'll have those questions, then we can send it to them,
Okay.
you know? Because you don't want to have, we don't have questions, we don't have so many questions too, right?
No.
Try to tighten it up if we can.
12 to 15
Bullet points,
questions
Yeah.
that they could kind of go somewhat in depth at about.
Right, so then we can send them to them and then invite them in.
Yeah.
I feel
I
like,
think
We
that
also don't have to extend invites to all three of them to come back. If we seem to have a consensus that
The
there was one that didn't provide the services, we don't have to,
I think it's okay if you want to say, invite two back.
Yeah.
I think you're kind of,
He's trying hard not to.
Well, you need to have a competitive.
Right.
no,
I
it's fine,
understand.
it's just,
Right.
I think you can, the next phase could be, here's our top two. We haven't made a final selection,
Yeah.
but we want you
Here's the top
back,
two.
second interviews, here's a bunch of questions we want to have asked.
Yeah.
And go with the two.
Yeah.
Because I think it was pretty clear.
Yeah, I think
There's a consensus here that
the
it
top
was clear.
The first two had more experience doing these open space plans.
Yeah.
The actual
One and-
physical part of
I
actually
believe it was
doing.
1 and 3. Jeff?
yeah, 1 and 3.
Right.
Two was the outlined it.
Outlier, yeah.
I don't remember the numbers.
No map. No,
That was a no map.
Which one
yeah,
was that, two?
Yeah.
Yeah.
yes, sir.
All right, two. All right, so two was, so I think if you want consensus-wise to bring back Beta Group and MAPC, those are the two names now, so that's fine for second interviews, and then, but as part of the second interviews, it'll be a question sent to them, excuse me, in advance.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'd like the questions answered in hand before we meet with them. so-
No, right. So there'll be a series of questions. So send me questions, then we'll set up a time to meet just to kind of go through those questions. You should have a chance to kind
Yeah.
of talk about those questions.
And which ones, no,
Right.
Agreed.
And then
see
we
if
send
some of
them
them
to
are
them, and then I'll
similar.
send them to them, say with like a written response, and then come in to present on your written response.
Yeah.
Is that,
No, honestly, I think that'll answer a lot of questions, and it may, as, Adam was saying, they may self-eliminate, and it may simplify it down to one.
okay.
But surely, I like the, questions, and obviously, Park and Rec should be right up front there.
Yes.
See how they respond, and have the information back, and then, definitely have them back in one more time, because it's not just the here and now, it's Norfolk in the future. down
Yeah, and
the
these
road.
plans now are 10-year plans, so it's, it's
Couple more years to
it's a few
consider.
more years than the previous plans, and
We're already 7 years late.
already, yeah, but
But, okay. So,
By then.
how about by next Wednesday, have your questions to Rich? And then,
Yeah, I don't know that I can contribute much inquest here. I mean, I would trust Ann to,
Why'd you point at me for Ann?
Because I'm assuming you know who I'm talking about, because I don't. But,
Well, that's fine. If you don't
have questions, that's okay too.
Yeah, there's
but if
no
you have-
pressure.
Yeah. You don't have to, yeah.
But
If you have questions, right?
If you have questions or concerns, and Ann already gave a few bullet points to Rich already, and yeah,
we could probably put the questions together in a matter of minutes anyway, you know?
It shouldn't take too long. No. I mean, once Rich gets them all, you can look at them and say, oh, it's just different wording and ways of asking the question. So, yeah, it may not require a meeting, and that'd be good because of everybody's time. But by next Wednesday, if you have any questions, send them in. If you don't have any questions, send an email that said, I don't have any questions to offer at this time.
And then you can pick a...
Then we'll decide from there.
I mean, if it, I know it'll be longer, but for your convenience, if you wanted to, we always could have them come in before your meeting in September.
Yeah.
As opposed to having another special meeting.
Yeah.
You wanted to...
Started at 6?
I know you, that was the one.
Right, well, in my particular case, I'm going to be out of town, so indisposed at that particular juncture, but I will give some thought to any questions I would have by Wednesday.
Okay.
And forward them along, and obviously, Elaine, you can send any pertinent,
Yeah, we'll keep you
it's just
updated.
spotty,
Yeah.
right, it's just spotty down there, so.
Okay.
And we'll make sure Val represents you well.
Yeah, no, I could tell. Somebody's got to fill that chair. Absentee party, surely.
All right.
I think we have a
plan.
Modified plan.
Okay.
Good consensus.
All right.
And with that, we'll...
You can noodle on who's on the committee. We don't need it tonight, but...
Yeah.
But it sounds like it needs to be, a decent amount of cross-representation. All right.
So, next meeting, September 10th. And with that, the motion to adjourn, unless there's something else you want to bring up?
Just one.
There's always one in the
I make a
crowd.
motion, we adjourn.
Is there a second?
I second that.
Well, I don't know. We got 5 more minutes to... Oh, we got to pay overtime back there.
I know, we gotta sing happy birthday to Donna.
Paul, you got
Happy
We're close.
birthday.
To you, it's your birthday?
There you go.
Yes.
Aye.
You're going to
Aye.
join the meeting, please.
Aye, aye.